Good morning. Well, got the week off from work, so one of the ideas was to begin to fix my motorcycle and my scooter, which I'm doing two separate projects on. The motorcycle, I just want to get up to speed so that I can start enjoying some of that great sunny weather you see out there. And the scooter is more of a long-term project where I'm trying to just redesign what an old Italian Vespa can look like. So you'll see each of these progress as we go along, hopefully in a series of videos where I can share with you the problems that I have to deal with on each of them and just show you how I go about doing each of those processes. Why don't we just get outside for a second? Oh, wow. Okay. Let's just sit right. No. Hey, Lando. Come here. Come here. Say hello. Come here. Up. Come here. Hello. So behind me, underneath that cover, there is my Suzuki Intruder 125cc. It's about 16 years old, and when I bought it, there was a problem with the engine casing around where the oil is kept, which I didn't actually see until a few weeks ago, when all I thought I was doing was giving the bike a little bit of TLC, bringing it back to life, and giving it a deep clean. And it was in the deep clean that I realized when I remove a bolt to take off the casing for the engine cover, there was a hole in the engine casing itself. Now that hole goes right through the engine to where the oil is. Now obviously you can't have air, water, moisture mixing with oil, and you can't have any holes in the engine casing where the oil is kept, because it will prevent the oil from reaching the correct oil temperature, the oil pressure, and therefore your engine won't work right. So for a whole multitude of reasons, that needs to be fixed today. What I'm going to do is remove the chain so I can get better access to that part and hopefully give it a deep steam clean and get it ready for when I apply a metal epoxy resin that hopefully can bond to the engine casing and cover up the hole, bring back the oil pressure, and we're good to go. So that's job number one for today. So there she is, my 2001 Suzuki Intruder, so well over 15 years old. They don't make these anymore, so this is the last of their type. This is a Japanese cruiser, 125cc. Definitely not wanting to let this bike go, so it is crucial that we get it back up and running, back up and looking good, back up sounding good, so that I can hit the road with her. I mean, it's only a 125. The fastest I've ever gotten out of it is about 85, close to 90 miles an hour, and that's going on a slight downward hill. But that's not the point. The point of this bike is to cruise. You want to be seen on this bike, you want it to sound nice, you want it to look good, you want it to smell good. You just basically want the experience of riding a cruiser at low speeds. Eager to see what we can do today. The main aim is to get the chain off, get the engine area cleared as well as we can, removing all the grease, the grime, the dirt, the crud, and preparing that area where I need to apply the metal to make sure that we have our oil pressure and temperature kept up as normal. I've not given her a name yet, so if anyone thinks of a good name that I should give her, please put it in the comments box below, and we might run a poll on the best ones that I find to see if we can finally name this beauty. All right, okay, time to remove the engine cover and crack on. Okay, now so we have her jacked up, which is going to allow me to get to this area a lot more easier, to remove the cover, get to the engine area so that I can then begin the steam cleaning process. We've also got to remove the chain, and I'll put the link for the chain there, and then hopefully we can get easy access to that to also cut it, remove it, get it off and ready for a new one. I'm also going to have to change the rear sprocket and the front sprocket, which is over there. So she's up now, let's get the engine casing removed. Okay, so we have the engine casing off now. It's only being held together with two bolts because currently there is a bolt in here jammed in with a rubber glove, hopefully sealing the hole into the oil. Because what I actually did is I actually put new oil in there before I properly found out what this problem was. So we have a whole new 1 litre bottle of oil sitting in there, which is obviously spoilt now because air has gotten in. So what we're doing is we're just leaving that oil in there just to make sure that the metal just stays coated, but we'll flush that out when we put new oil in. Yeah, let me just show you this. So the issue we have here is that, let me take this out, this bolt here, which goes through the casing like that and sits in there usually to hold that plastic casing onto the bike, attaches here to this area. Now, as you can see, I've done a pretty good job previously on the metal, getting it clean, getting rid of some of the dirt and grime around this area here, but you can see that this area here is a different color to the rest. So what I think is that the previous owner must have already had this problem seen to by a garage or maybe themselves, and what they tried to do is what I am now going to have to try and do. So I am a bit worried that it seems like a temporary fix because this one has already come apart, but I'm going to try to now clean up this area here to prepare it for the thing that I have. Okay, so it looks like the previous owner had this issue and possibly took it to a garage or did it themselves. What I have here is I have this product here called metal putty, and what this allows you to do is once you take the metal putty out of that wrapper, it allows you to bond it to another metal, so it effectively becomes a repair. Now, I've YouTubed quite a few examples of this where people have used it to repair petrol tanks on cars, oil sumps on engines. Some people have even used it to repair the inside of hydraulic water pumps. Now, those are all high pressurized examples. What I'm hoping for is that because this is such a low power engine, the kind of temperatures and the forces that we're working with here, this will be able to uphold. So it'd be good if you have had experience of working with this, if you could leave a comment in the box below if you've got any pointers on how I should use it. I've got 1 or 2 ideas about how I'm going to do it. The first one, basically just clean this area as clean as possible, apply it and see what happens. The other one I've got is that on the hole itself, if I bond a 5p piece, an English 5p piece, which is very small, very tiny, onto the hole first of all to create a natural seal, and then use this to encase around that. Basically what I don't want to do is push any of this through the hole and before it sets, it fall into the engine. So I'm basically just trying to get around that. I don't want to have to put too much of it in the hole already. The hole, I'd say, is about 1 centimeter, so 10mm deep and about 10mm wide. So yeah, those are my ideas at the moment. It's basically to clean that up as much as possible and then apply this, and hopefully that does the job. The casing for this area will then only have the 2 fixtures, but I think 2 out of 3 is not bad. It's strong enough to hold it on there while we're riding. Like I said, this could be a short-term fix which hopefully lasts for the long term. So the first job we need to do is, if you can see here on the chain, I have taken off the outer link, and we're left with these 2 riveted edges that I need to grind off so I can then push the pins through to release the chain. So that's the next job we're going to do, and for that I had to go and buy an angle grinder. So yeah, better crack on to move the chain so that I can gain better access to this whole area and have more freedom to clean all of that dirt and grime off. Very nice. Good, good, good. Okay, yeah, so cool look. Got the safety goggles on. We have hooked up the blade, got the safety goggles on, so yeah, we should be all good to go and get this chain removed. Okay, well, got some very bad news. So unfortunately, this brand new angle grinder that I bought only yesterday does not work. I've taken it out the box, I've fitted the circular blade to it, and when I go to put the button in the on position, nothing. So I hate to say it, but that actually stops me from doing anything today, because the whole point of today was to get the chain off, to be able to go behind it, to clean the bike, properly, because I've gone about as far as I can with it, with the chain on. And the aim of today was to get that chain off so that I could really get in there and begin deep cleaning it. I'm really, really, really annoyed. So now what I have to do is wind the bike back down, pack it up, and then head off to the shop where I bought the angle grinder from and tell them it don't work. I'm dreading that I get all the way there and then they plug it in and it works there. No, I've plugged it in on all the plugs around my house to make sure I don't have any faulty plug sockets. I'm just gutted. I'm absolutely gutted. It was cheap, but it was reduced. So it was a £30 angle grinder for £19. I don't know. Shall I spend £50 to £70 on an angle grinder? I've got relatively little use for it. I might have some projects in the future where I can use it, but relatively little use at this point in time. Should I be spending that amount of money on my tools? Probably. My better self says yes, but at the moment I have to go with what my wallet says. But yeah, absolutely gutted. What a day as well. So okay, well I guess that's it for this video. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to pack all this away, head off to the store where I bought the grinder and see if I can get an exchange or a return for it. So sorry to let you all down. Yeah, okay, pack up time. So yeah, sorry, unfortunately, not the video that I wanted to make, and probably not the video you wanted to see. But I do promise to make another video when we get to catch up on the progress that I make on this bike. So now it's upload this video and off to the shop to get a new grinder. Woo, hot weather out here. Look at this sun. Look at this. My gosh. Beautiful. All right, see you in a bit.